Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3-0 Take, where we talk all things Major League Baseball. Here's Kyle Corwin and Nate Reyes. It all starts right now.
Ooh, welcome back to the 3-0 Take, presented by SeatGeek. This is episode 397. I'll be your host, Kyle Corwin, and I'm here with my co-host, Nate Reyes. Nate.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. This has gotta be our first Saturday episode.
I was thinking first, maybe second ever.
Yeah. I like it. Having coffee?
Yeah, cup of Morning Joe over there. Well, it's almost lunchtime here, but Morning Joe for you.
It's pretty neat.
Hey, can we clap it up? Let's clap it up. Let's clap it up. We got some competitive baseball for once.
Yeah.
I almost forgot what it was like to watch a competitive baseball game. I forgot what it was like to have my blood pressure affected by whatever it was that I was watching.
Mm-hmm. It's about time.
We hadn't seen that up until about 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it.
Before we get into it, I have a sell.
Oh, okay.
I'm excited about these games. Don't get me wrong, but I do have a sell. Here's my sell. I don't. Yeah, I know. I'm selling the MLB rule book. Okay. We've been told on a tag play, the laces of a glove are not considered part of the glove. In this postseason, we have seen the laces of a glove qualify as a catcher's interference. And now we're seeing batting gloves in a back pocket be considered part of a base runner. Where do we draw the line? Help me with this math.
Yeah, this math ain't mathin'. I honestly can't tell you because I probably could have held my own in this conversation about this rule pre-oven mitt introduction, but once they introduced that, I don't know like what's considered the core of the rule anymore and what's considered like
it's very gray
accessory. I don't understand it.
It's very gray. That bang bang play where Simeon got doubled off at first base. I don't get it. How did the batting gloves in a back pocket qualify? There's so much gray area. I don't see how it's fair. It's a pivotal moment for that to happen. So, and then, the catcher's interference we had a couple weeks ago. Definitely a pivotal moment. And I'm not blaming the umpires. I'm blaming the rule book. I'm blaming that, we need to make adjustments. When these rules were written, I don't even think anyone was using batting gloves. So there's nothing to stick out of the back pocket.
I think the umpires lately have just been going with what
Just
helps the vibes.
Yeah.
Like what do we think will really get the people going right now?
Yeah.
Do we want to count the batting gloves right now, or do we not want to count the batting gloves?
We want this double
play? Provocative.
Yeah.
Gets the people going. I don't know. That's a good sell, though.
I appreciate it.
I hadn't really considered that given everything else that had taken place, but I think if you if you look at it, though, I think you're right.
These
very
series
pivotal.
of events don't add up to me.
Math ain't mathin'. What else isn't mathin' is the fact that no home team has won a game in this ALCS, and it's very 2019 World Series-esque. Very circa 2019.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not worried for the Rangers. Like all these people, like I see Rangers fans saying, well, the series is over. And Phillies fans alike, just to kind of bring them into the conversation. I have Philly fans tweeting at me being like, oh, the series is over. I got no faith. What are we talking about? Like, sure, yeah, if you're the Rangers looking at them, you would have liked to have at least won a game at home. But Houston is, the Stros are cheeks at home. So you at least you at least have that working for you. I mean, I'm not going to wish injury on somebody, but if you're the Rangers, you kind of hope that Altuve stubs his toe getting off the plane. I don't know how to manage that. I mean, hate the guy all you want, but it's getting out of control.
I'm so tired of it.
I have yet to figure out how a guy of his stature does what he does.
He gets grounded so well as a hitter. He's got such a good base. And that's it, man. Like, that's what young hitters, if you ever are undersized and you got somebody to watch and you want to add pop, it all starts with the base. He's not doing anything else that's super special. He's just got a really strong base. Yes, he dives really hard, but man, can he get grounded. It's nuts. I'm over it. I'm kind of tired of it, but you got to respect it, dude. You got to respect it. The guy's really good at baseball, and he does it in crazy moments.
I saw Pedro, which I'm like, Pedro's been known to say some erratic things at times, but I saw he said that he thinks Altuve will go down as the best second baseman of all time. I'll be honest, I haven't even really checked the numbers, but even with as good as he's been, that seems a little much, no? Or, I mean, is that within reach?
Definitely recency bias in that comment. I think with the postseason opportunities, it's inflated. I would assume if we looked at numbers, we wouldn't be overly impressed as far as like the best ever.
Sure.
Probably a Hall of Famer, but yeah, the postseason numbers really kind of bolster that up.
No, I mean, I'll give him the Hall of Famer. I like I said, haven't even checked the numbers, but I feel like I can safely say that he's a Hall of Famer. But it's the greatest of all time conversation is what gives me a little bit of pause. But
the tough thing is that like for so long in our game, like the second baseman was just a defensive specialist. You know what I mean?
He was like the right fielder of the infield, just a guy that could play baseball, but you needed to stick him somewhere.
49.3 career WAR, a little over 2,000 hits, a little over 200 home runs. He is hitting over 300 in his career.
Yeah, that's a Hall of Famer. We'll get to the big Altuve moment. Talking about a Hall of Famer potentially has not pitched like a Hall of Famer as of late in the postseason. Max Scherzer, going back to Game 3, the Rangers drop Game 3 8-5. This was the beginning of the Astros 3-game run in Arlington. We talked about it last episode. We said You want to talk about a pivotal moment. I don't think game 3 was the game to play with house money if you're the Rangers. You needed to get that third win under your belt before you went to Scherzer. Yeah. That's my opinion. And that's not hindsight. We were talking about that before he even took the mound, because
everyone knew.
Like we said, if you're the Rangers, this is your opportunity to get back in the series. Like, you could not ask for a better matchup, in my opinion. And people might think, well, that sounds odd because we're talking about Max Scherzer. Yeah, we're talking about Max Scherzer, who has not had the greatest track record as of late with arm health down the stretch, especially coming off of the IL not too long ago. And we said, this is the opportunity if you're the Astros to get back into it. And what do? Jump on him right away. Yeah. And then from that point forward, the Rangers really, I mean, they said the home team hadn't held the lead until late, yesterday, I think? Game 5?
Makes sense.
Honestly, the games all run
I know,
together.
they all blend together. Yeah, it's like one big game for me, but I get what you're saying.
But that's just I don't think that was the move.
We gave so much credit to Bochy before. I'm not ready to turn on him, but this was extremely predictable.
His last 3 postseason starts, he's given up 14 runs, 6 home runs, and in each start, respectively, 4 1/3, 4 2/3, and 4 innings pitched.
You die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. He's the villain. It's there.
Okay, I want to get your take on this. I threw out the idea. I said, if he goes out there and just flops, like I said, if he gets gives up 2 or 3, like not vintage Scherzer, but he at least gives you enough to keep you in the game, we entertain the idea of him returning for another start, should they advance, whatever the situation may be. Given what we saw in Game 3, should the Rangers find a way to advance to the World Series, is Max Scherzer getting the ball for you?
He has to. The tough thing is that this bullpen is so freaking taxed. It was already a fairly average bullpen coming in. They've overperformed. They've done fairly well, minus yesterday. But you don't have enough options. I would say, I mean, because now if the Rangers do win it, it has to go 7. I would say that it's got to be like an early in the series start. It can't be a pivotal moment. It can't be a pivotal game. It's got to be early enough to where like you have the ability to recover from whatever he does.
If I were calling the shots here, I would say the opposite. I would say save it for late and not give him a start. Let him come out for like a piggyback role.
Yeah, I mean, I think
late
ideally
in the series.
Yeah, ideally it should be. What did they do? They piggybacked Dane Dunning off of Heaney, right?
Yes, because Heaney got the start in game.
And how quick? That was a quick
4.
hook, wasn't it?
Yeah, he only went 2/3. Gave up 3 runs.
I don't love that.
Dane Dunning also gave up 3 runs.
But Dane Dunning ate some time, didn't he? Didn't he eat some innings?
2 2/3.
Dang, I thought that was better. Yeah, ideally I would like to get a full start out of one of those guys and then slide Scherzer in for the piggyback off of one of those names. It's just tough, man. Like the way you saw Heaney carve up the Orioles, you thought there was maybe some magic there.
Yeah.
No magic.
Yeah.
But Scherzer is officially cooked. I mean, I think there's got to be some serious retirement discussions.
Yeah, I don't see him. If it were up to me, which it's obviously not, I wouldn't give him the ball for a start. I would give him a out of the pen roll, piggyback roll, something like that to at least get Scherzer in there to eat up a few, which sounds crazy because we're talking about Max Scherzer. We shouldn't be talking about having him eat up innings, but
Yeah.
based on what he's shown us, that's really all at this point. That's all you can really hope for. You can't even rely on that. That's what you would hope for.
He's still got like what, 2 years? Oh no. He's a free agent after this year. Right? Oh, no.
I thought he had one more year. Yeah.
2024.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Rangers are willing to eat some of that. Why not a little reunion here in AZ? Let it come full circle. You know, I love those. I love the final goodbye tour with the original team. Why not?
Madison Bumgarner reincarnated just with the angry old guy, like
just 1 year.
Kind of washed. Yelling at the clouds.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing else. There's nowhere else.
I could see it happening. Props to Jose Abreu having quite the series.
A freaking nuke.
What's he got? 4 in this series or 4 in the postseason? 4 in the postseason, I think. Sure. He's having himself quite a month after a rather, can we say pedestrian year? Or am I thinking of last year? Was it last year that was
last year was not great. This year is better, but still not like Jose Abreu.
237, 18 bombs. Not
the Jose Abreu they hope to sign.
I'll call it pedestrian.
But he plays every day. He's a vet. He's a gamer. And he's doing well in this postseason. So a lot of that stuff can get corrected.
Yordan Alvarez and Jose Abreu, the first teammates in postseason history with at least 4 homers and 10 ribbies in their team's first 8 playoff games. Along with Altuve, they're driving this offense right now. And
what was that? Was that Wednesday? Thursday? Bases loaded. Yordan takes it all the way to the track for a sac fly. And the Rangers are like, ooh, deep breath. And then next thing you knew,
that was game 4.
Abreu. Yeah.
That's when they put up 10 on Rangers. Yeah.
Next thing you knew, Jose Abreu, 3-run bomb, which if you're mathing with us, that pretty much counts as a grand slam anyway. So them being back to back, and what's great is that like it's forcing the Rangers to throw to Yordan. It's forcing them. No longer can you just work around. Obviously, in that situation, it's base loaded. But in general, no longer are you able to just kind of work around Yordan because you have a pushover behind him. Jose Abreu is providing juice. I'm impressed. I'm surprised. I'm impressed.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that going into the playoffs, that it's not a guy that you're banking on providing you this level of production, but when you get it,
you need it.
You see how it affects the team and how it
and I think
changes the series.
I don't think Kyle Tucker has done anything. I haven't heard his name at all.
Yeah, not much of note. I think you would have, coming into it on paper, you would have thought that he would be doing what Abreu's doing, giving you that jolt.
Yeah.
But they're making it work, man.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you drop 3 at home. I get the whole like no home team is doing well in this series, but like to go up 2-0 to do what you should have done given the way the Astros been playing at home and taking the first 2 in Houston. If you just take 1 at home,
you're still ahead. It's you remove that advantage. You've lost the advantage. Clearly.
I mean, we were talking about these series potentially being sweeps with the way that the Phillies and the Rangers jumped out to those leads. And it wasn't just a by happenstance scenario. Like, it was very convincing where it's like, okay, it seems as though the Astros have reached the end of their road.
Yeah.
It seems like the D-backs were well overmatched coming into this series after the first two games. And here we are, both series flipped on their heads.
Now we're balling. Should we
talk
talk Mr. Adolis? What's
Oh yeah, game 5. Haven't even got to game 5. Look, nobody, and I mean nobody, unless you're an absolute idiot, which I don't know Brian Abreu. I don't want to sit here and say he is. I don't want to say anybody's an idiot, especially if I don't know him. Brian Abreu, I have to imagine he's not throwing intentionally. Who in their right mind is putting a second guy on in was that the 8th? 7th? It was late. Who's putting on a second guy on base late in a game, in a postseason game?
I think
because
that's
of the way
Dusty
he responded after hitting a home run. That's why he got tossed.
Yeah, that's why Dusty was losing it. Yeah. The comment, well, first off, what did you think of the home run celebration? Was it, I mean, based on what we've seen the last few years and like these big moments, I think it was just right there in the middle of all those others. I don't think it was any worse.
No.
Yeah. The home
no
plates,
less, no
like
worse.
Foot slam. I don't know.
Locked in on the dugout, like was not staring down any particular one, like any one particular member of the other team. He's locked in on his guys.
It was a big moment too.
And it's like, I'm just
off of Verlander.
I'm just so tired. And even Verlander said after he's like, I had no problem with that. Like, it's a big moment. He's like, I get it. Which I'm like, okay, I got to tip my cap to that. Like, he at least understands the magnitude of the situation. But like,
It's been beef all year though. We gotta remember that it's been built up. The Adolis had done this before in the regular season, and there's been responses in the regular season.
I guess.
The tough moment, obviously we all know the result of the Altuve home run and things like that, which we'll get to in a sec. But I think the Martin Maldonado quote, he's 100% right. Like, if you're Adolis right there and you wear that, you just gotta be like, okay, like whatever. That's the only response they get. If it is on purpose, if that is planned, that's the only response they can have. You hit a 3-run bomb, right?
Yeah.
And you get nailed. If you shrug that off, you got 2 guys on now. And the Astros, if that is planned, the Astros, like, you're doing that to get a response. You're doing that to send a message. If it is planned. Oh boy, phone's going nuts. You're doing that to try and get juiced up in some way. So it's like, why give that to them? Why provide that?
Again, if planned. Nate, do the Houston Astros win the game if Aroldis Garcia doesn't respond?
I'd love to say no. I'd love to say no. We'll never know. But there's something about, I love the catcher beef, by the way. I love when the catcher is involved in this stuff more than the pitcher.
Yeah, he was getting close to Adolis was getting close to getting his hands on him. He was like tossing the ump around a little bit. I'm like, my guy, let's cool it. All right, we're going to need you for the rest of the series. That
man is built like a freaking running back, dude. Aroldis Garcia He's built
He's like
an
a
action
linebacker
figure.
playing
It's
outfield.
insane. It's insane. The guy's jacked. Props to the umpire for stepping in.
Yeah, the real MVP of the night. My
props.
goodness. Like, you have to think as an umpire, there's like a level of or like a degree of invincibility, because you're like, these guys would have to come absolutely unhinged for anything to happen to me, and the odds of that happening are slim to none. But also, like, you're essentially staring down the barrel of an Aroldis Garcia gun, which I don't know if I'm exactly
I'm not
thrilled about that.
I'm not built for that.
I'm not, where he's essentially just seeing red. I'm not built for that. And then, as we mentioned, the Jose Altuve home run, I mean, talk about turning the tables. When he made contact, I don't even know what I thought.
It looked like a lot of label. It looked like he didn't really catch the barrel. And I was like, especially watching Evan Turner, or Evan Carter, work his way back to the track. I was like, I think we're okay. Not okay.
It's one of those scenarios where you have all of the ingredients laid out for just a storybook moment, but you're just like, it doesn't happen here, right? Like, the odds are just stacked against him. The odds of something like this happening aren't great.
Against Leclerc, who's been good.
Leclerc, yeah, it makes too much sense for this to not happen, but it's Jose Altuve, and this seems to be what he does. He's now got, I think I saw, the second most postseason home runs in baseball, behind Manny Ramirez. And like I was telling you, I don't get how a guy with his stature does what he does.
I'm going to be 100% honest with our listeners right now. We had the game on at the office. I thought I was good to leave. I thought I was okay. So I missed it. Was there at
just
any
gonna
point...
slide that in there? Yeah.
So was there?
So I missed it. Yeah. Anyway,
was there any point that the camera panned into the bullpen or the dugout, wherever Chapman was?
I don't recall seeing Chapman.
Did it show a Chapman reaction to that?
I didn't recall seeing Chapman, but I saw the coolest
I'm picturing
thing.
like a PTSD, curled up in a ball on the floor of the dugout kind of moment.
Yeah, you see Chapman with his army helmet on. You got explosions going off in the background. He's just frozen.
Other teammates are like, Aroldis, it's not you. You're not out there.
You still haven't had your moment yet. Aroldis,
you.
Get back. Come back to us, buddy. No, but I saw the coolest thing, which I'm sure it happens more than this particular instance. But when they showed the reaction of the Houston dugout, dude, they were all packed like sardines at the end of the dugout, trying to see over each other to see if the ball made it into the stands. Cool. It wasn't just they all stayed in their spots and they're all just watching it and they're like, oh yeah, let's go. They immediately, everybody was up, down, packed down the far end of the dugout. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. But you're going to have to figure out a way to manage this, to contain what Jose Altuve is doing, because I don't care what the Astros do at home or how they've been playing at home as of late. That doesn't matter for Jose Altuve, apparently. He is going to have a significant role, I would imagine, or an impact in however many games are still to be played, whether that's one, whether that's two. He will have his moment.
Also, I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for sick defensive plays. And we're talking about a guy who is really good defensively, has gone through stages of having yips. He made a play Thursday. Had to be Thursday. Ball up the middle, jump throw. Gets him at first. And I don't know, man. There's just like when things are going Altuve's way, things are going. When all things are working that way, it's watch out. Watch out. Game changer.
Let's switch gears here. I'm sure there's more we could get into, but we need to, for the sake of time, let's move on to the NLCS. A stint of games that started off rather weird. When this thing shifted to Arizona, all of a sudden you start seeing these reports of Phillies fans buying tickets in bulk. And I thought, right off the bat, that's a bogus report because there aren't enough people to purchase that many tickets for this to warrant a report. But it wasn't until I saw how little they were going for that I said, oh, I could do that if I wanted to. The tickets were going for $9.
Yeah, dude.
For Game 3.
Talk about ye who have little faith. Bro, what are we doing? Who chose that?
And again, you got people in the comments talking about, did you forget that people have to work? Let's just have a quick little heart-to-heart here.
I think it's fall break right
people.
now for a lot of these kids. So
even aside from that, what do you want Major League Baseball to do? Because I saw people talking about how I saw how you got people talking about, well, you're just catering to the East Coast. It's not that you're catering to the East Coast, you're catering to the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so the game has to start a little bit earlier, and that sucks for the people out west. But like the reality of it is the rest of the country's day is 2-3 hours ahead of you.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, just think of it as like a compromise. Games like this, you have to start a little early. But for the rest of the year, anybody out here that wants to watch a game out there doesn't start out here. It doesn't start till 10 p.m. And that's a 7 o'clock game out there. That's beside the point. It's the playoffs. And this carries even more weight than the conversation we had a week or two ago about the wild card in Tampa and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That was the wild card. I could maybe even slightly understand that. I still think because it's the playoffs, it shouldn't matter. But this is the NLCS. What are we doing? Why is this conversation still being had? Like, take off from work. You have a conversation with your boss. You have this thing called PTO, or at least you should. Like, take a day.
We had conversations in my office. Thought about it.
Get the whole office up. Say, you know what? Hey, let's just chalk up today as an L. Let's go catch a game. Yeah. Let's go catch a ball game. Have a couple D-back dogs. Like, I don't know. But stop trying to tell me like, oh, we have to work. You're the one telling me all the time because you're out there. Nobody works out there. You said everybody you're either golfing,
all the time. Yeah,
vacation mode. So like,
especially working from home, you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna head home. Going to the office in the morning, you're like, all right, I'm gonna head home around lunch.
So
answer a couple emails.
Spare me the whole we gotta work thing. That's insane. Credit to them though, they packed it out. I don't know what transpired from
a dub.
Time.
That's what transpired. A dub.
No, I'm talking about from between that report coming out and game time. Be like, I don't know if D-backs fans are like, oh, there's a game today. Let's go.
Do you think there's a guy that's just like looking at the numbers and he's like, let's set it at $9. And then all of a sudden they get a win and he's like, let's go up to $121. Like, is there one guy that's just like looking at it? He's like pricing it, you know? You ever see that Storage Wars show where they buy a storage unit and they're like, I'll give you $800 for that. I don't know.
I don't understand what's going on here, but I suggested to you, I said you should go to Game 5 tonight, and then you're like, yeah, I think the prices went up, and I checked, and I think it was like $135. So we've gone in 2 days. We've gone from $9 to like $130, $140. So
Yeah.
I guess that's what a couple dubs will do for you. But credit to the Snakes, man. Snakes alive. How about it? Totally flipping the script.
Good baseball. I will say for Thursday's game, man, I forget what day it is sometimes. Thursday's game, that was the 2-1 ball game, right?
Yeah. Yep. 2-1. That was that was Marte. Yeah, Marte single in the ninth.
Yeah. For such a well played defensive game, really like things kind of started to unravel a little bit with errors and strange plays and I think Bryce scored on that pass ball, and then you just see like just strange stuff. It's weird for a game to just totally flip, and you see a couple errors and a couple like whether it's not errors or like mental mistakes or whatever, completely flip the game. But overall, I mean, that Diamondbacks game didn't need to be a walk-off. I think that was their game. I mean, the only run the Phillies got was a gift. I think that was with 2 outs too, wasn't it?
1 or 2 outs, yeah, I think. No, I think you're right. I think it was 2 outs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. The takeaway I had from that game and game 4, honestly, was that Kimbrel in the postseason is not like we have to figure out and quick a different leverage point for him to come into the game because it's not working. And it's not like this shouldn't come as a surprise. Like he has a history of this. We've seen this before. And I don't know if it just means going to Alvarado when you would typically go to Kimbrel. But then that opens up. It's like, okay, well then who goes when Alvarado was supposed to go in? I don't know, but Kimbrel's got to figure it out, dude. Like it's a heart attack every time he comes out to pitch.
Yeah. I think I saw 4 earned runs in the last inning total that he's thrown.
Yeah. Yeah, he gave up 3 in game 4. Yeah, because he gave up the game tying homer to Alek Thomas. Which talk about coming unglued, dude. That
gas
place
me up. The fact that it went in the pool too.
In the pool.
Dude. It's exciting.
You want to talk about getting gassed up? When I saw them walk out in the black unis, I was like, oh, yeah. Okay. We're tying this baby up. We are tying this series up. And sure enough, they did.
How about that insane series of plays that happened? Ball up the line at third, Bohm throws it home. Was it who what? No, that was the other way around. It was the D-backs on defense. Ball up the line at third, throws it home, gets bobbled. Another run comes around and scores. Gabby Moreno then like turns and hoses Bohm at second. Just a strange.
Oh yeah, the two run ground out to third. Yeah.
Wild. What a wild series of events there. But yeah, Alek Thomas, man.
That was pinch hit, right? Did I see?
Biggest moment in his career for sure. Like the new number 1 moment in his career. That's got to be. I wouldn't have slept that night. I wouldn't have slept last night at all.
I gotta confirm. I think that was a pinch hit. Pinch hit AB. Yeah, huge moment, dude. And Have you noticed that him and Corbin Carroll have like similar approaches at the plate?
Super similar.
Um,
Even when they're running the ball down in the outfield, I'm like, wait.
Speaking of running,
His long lost brothers.
can I give some love to the base cams? Because I don't know if you saw it, but there was was it game? It may have been game 3. Was that game 3? Where you saw Alek Thomas rounding third on just a dead sprint home. Did you see that?
I don't think so.
Was flying.
Off angle.
Flying. It was like I'm talking about like the camera in the base.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Insane, dude. If you need some perspective on how fast that kid is, my goodness.
Yeah. Couple.
That was a pinch hit for
nice.
Thomas. Yeah.
Anyway. I want to give some love to PFAT for sure.
Yes, dude.
Like talk about showing up and like really letting everybody know how to pronounce it because it's FOT and being like, I'm here, I'm the guy.
5 2/3, 9 Ks.
Didn't like how he got pulled, to be honest with you, but my man diced. Had crazy good tempo on the mound. Just was in really good rhythm. Like, that was fun to watch.
Yeah, and not only did they pull him, well, again, not to take anything away from the FOT conversation. Guy diced, but you mentioned getting pulled. They pulled him for that the Sulfrunk guy or I don't know. He has not had a great couple of games. He walked 2. He threw a third of an inning, walked 2 when he came in for PFOT. And then last night came in and walked 3 through a third of an inning. And you can tell the inexperience is there because if you were watching, his body language was all over the place. I'm like, dude, if you're trying to win this game right now, you're going to have to set that aside and like go pout about it in the tunnel because like
didn't like the pull at all. I don't like that guy either. And then my other name I'm going to give love for, I have to be in the majority of baseball fans that really didn't fully understand the Dalton Varsho trade. There was a lot of hype around that name, and when they traded him, I was like, I don't understand. Gabriel Moreno is real. And I mean like has probably established himself as a top 5 catcher in baseball.
Wow.
Yeah. When you're throwing freaking 100-mile-an-hour bowling balls underneath his hands from Jose Alvarado, and he's pulling that pitch and going to left center gap, that is insane. That dude is real. So I got to give mad respect to him. And he needs to be a household name when it comes to catchers. This dude is going to be very good. He's only going to get better. Like the Diamondbacks have them a gem.
Unless they turn around and ship him out too.
They better not. I don't think they're doing anything, man. I was trying to tell some like people in the office yesterday that aren't really like baseball fans. Just, they're excited about the Diamondbacks. They don't really know. And they're like, is this real? And I'm like, oh yeah, this team's real. They're going to add, they're going to get better, but this team is real. They're going to be back. This wasn't that fluky Giants thing we saw. This is a Diamondbacks team that's young. They're put together. They're playing good ball. They need some additions. No matter how this season goes, no matter how the rest of this series and World Series go, they got to add. But they're going to be here for real. The Phillies need to start hitting, man. They need to start swinging it.
I mean, they put up 5 in Game 4. I'm not.
2 of those on some goofy play.
Yeah.
I need barrels. I need them to show up. I need some barrels. So as dope as it's been here in Chase.
It's not as much for me as them needing to hit, is them needing to capitalize on these leverage situations when they're on the other side of the ball, because you can't just bank on this offense putting up 10 every night, because they're not going to.
Yeah.
So you're going to need guys. To me, it comes down to a guy like Kimbrel. Going back to what I was saying, if this is going to be one of your 2-3 arms, which it has been for a while now, you need to have, and I'm not, this isn't groundbreaking, obviously, but like if you're going to insert him into the game, it has to be in a situation to where it's not going to cost you. Yeah. Potentially at this point, potentially the series now. Because we're tied up 2-2. If he comes in Game 5 in any capacity and blows it, that very well could be the series for the Phillies.
It's true. It's very true. But, I mean, this was on a bullpen day. So, I think the only guy left in the pen at that moment was Lorenzen. After Alvarado came in, right? I think Lorenzen was the only one left. So, it's just one of those days, man, where, like, that's where you need offensive stuff. I'm not letting Kimbrel off the hook, but
Lorenzen, say that again?
I think he was the only one left, wasn't he?
Oh, to not come in Game 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, they went through, Sanchez started. You got Hoffman, Strom, Dominguez, Soto, Kerkering, Kimbrel, and Alvarado.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's tough, but I mean, the Phillies are the Phillies. I don't think I've ever seen a team be able to snatch momentum back as quick. Phillies are capable of that.
For their sake, though, I'm just not thrilled about the fact that they still have one left to go tonight in Chase, because that's
Who are the starters tonight?
That's a pivotal game. Who do we got?
Wheeler Gallon. Oh my. Damn, I wish I should have gone. Oh, I should have gone for sure.
You can still go, dude. Just
leave work. Just bail on work. I'd love to. Man.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not thrilled that they still have one to go in an environment that seemingly has picked up steam just in 48 hours. Like I'm thinking that now that they've knotted the series up at 2, I think Chase, you're gonna see, especially given that it's not coming back here. Like, this is it for Chase for this series. So fans are gonna
show.
They are gonna be letting them have it. Did you see the guy sign, the Snakes Alive sign that they reproduced for all the fans last night? That was good.
I picked that out live. I remember I was like, really, dude? Like, you just went to a Word doc and then it went viral. It's like, oh, I love it.
I don't know what it is about that ballpark and having just like Microsoft Word design works done, because that was where the Great Britain jersey made its debut back in March. And you got this. I don't know. Maybe that's the move.
I wonder it's starting to cool down here. Like next week's all 80s. No, it'll still be 100 today. So I was going to say, if the roof is open tonight, that'd be sick, but probably better it's closed. More noise.
Yeah, that's something that I have not understood. I don't care like how nice it is outside. If it's the postseason, shouldn't all of these parks that have roofs shouldn't they just be closed all the time? Which I guess is 3 of the 4 parks that we're dealing with here. Like, shouldn't they just be closed every night? Why would you take away that element of home field advantage?
I don't know. No say.
Doesn't make any sense. Right?
What do you got tonight, though? Who you going?
I hate to say it. I think the D-backs get it done. I still have Philly taking this series because that, of all the hills that I'm going to die on with this series, it's that the one that I will die on the most would be Philly winning at home. That's just a given.
Yeah.
So I say Arizona goes up 3-2, but I say Philly takes it in 7.
I go the opposite. In Zach Wheeler, I believe Gallen. I think Phillies hitters kind of smell a little blood in the water with Gallen last time out. Wasn't great. I think Wheeler is going to step up and be like, all right, bullpen is taxed. I'm giving you 7 strong. Give me 7 strong tonight from Wheeler. Phillies take it, and then they win the first one back home. Phillies in 6.
I don't know, dude. I feel like I really don't want to admit it, but I feel like if we're being honest,
if
the
talk
Phillies
about an offense that can just immediately take the vibes out of the crowd.
That's true, but like you have to think that there's a little bit of shell shock going on right now. I don't think after going up 2-0 the way in the fashion that they did, I don't think they saw this series going 2-2 through 4. I really don't,
dude. I think that there's a lot of dudes in there with a very low heartbeat that's just low heart rate. That's just very chill, very calm, cool, collected.
I want to believe you. I want to be on that page, but I
think Phillies come out with a big old right in the first couple innings and takes the crowd out of it.
Who do you see being the X factor in Game 5 for Phillies D-backs? Who do you see being the MVP of this game? Well, based on what you said, it sounds like it would be Wheeler. If you see Wheeler just taking the ball,
it probably is. Probably is Wheeler. I don't think the offense is going to do a ton of damage against Gallen. That's not what I'm saying. It's probably going to be like a couple home runs or a home run with a dude or two on, and then that's kind of like the offense for the night. But I mean, lineup wise, like pick whoever you want. You know, someone's going to get them. But yeah, I think Wheeler is like, you're going to see an ace tonight, dude. You're going to see an ace that's like, my bullpen needs this. I'm going minimum 7. Minimum.
Okay. All right.
Give me a CG. How sick would that be?
Okay. I mean, if there's a guy that's going to do it, I feel like it'd be Wheeler. All right. So you see it going 6. What about the other series? Because the next time that you guys hear from us, the series will be over. So what do you got the other series going? You think Houston's just going to do it right away, right?
Right away.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah.
Right away.
Game 6.
First team in history. Fall down 0-2 at home. What did we say last episode? 0-21.
0-21. So it'll be 1-21.
And you talk about the group of guys who've been covering this game. They've been mentioning it over and over again, reminding every Yankee fan history. Jeter and Poppy on the coverage. Some other guy that still manages to get a spray tan. What's that about? Why is A-Rod getting spray tans?
Fellas.
They're already dark.
Fellas.
You're already dark. Stop. Enough.
That's my favorite. Whenever he wants to make a point. Anytime he wants to make a point. Fellas.
Look here, fellas. Yeah. Houston does it right away.
Right away.
This is a choke job. Just an absolute choke job from the Rangers.
Choke job. I agree with you right away. Game 6. So I got Phillies D-backs going 7. I got Houston cleaning things up right away in Game 6. Like I said, next time you hear from us, this series will be over. We'll be previewing the World Series. Very well. Sounds like both of us have Philly and Houston. Let's run it back, 2022.
Run it back. Love you guys. Have a good weekend. Enjoy baseball. Don't go chasing curveballs.
I love you all, and as always, looking forward to talking more baseball with you guys soon. Until next time, stay filthy.